Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on bin number 1. Now, this is the 10-gallon totes that I have. They have the red wigglers in it. It's been running for over a year now at this point, and we really need to start getting this material out of here to make sure that we can refill it with fresh bedding and get the worms into some new material. So we're going to do some small feedings going forward, I think, with this instead of some of the larger ones. And we're going to try to get them to work through the food and the last of the bedding that's in here and try to get this ready to get harvested. Now, obviously, there will probably still be bedding left at the end. There might be a little bit of food left over, especially some of those banana peel tops, which take a while to break down. But the idea is to get the majority of it broken down so that way that we can harvest those castings, keep the worms and everything else to put in a new bin, and get this started again. So with that, let's go take a look and see how it's doing and see how close we are to being ready to harvest this. All right, as you can see here, our last update was on 7/12. Today is the 22nd. This is bin number 1. Let's turn this over and just take a look first at the top. We got a little bit of moisture on the lid here, which shows that there's some evaporation going on, and actually it's running a little bit, it looks like, when I flipped it over. So that means there's plenty of moisture in here. We're not going to have to add moisture. And let's just take a look in here. Let me grab my glove and see how things are doing. All right. So first off, let's take this off. That's where, by the way, there was no moisture. We've got some mold coming in on this cloth here. Mold is fine. I don't know if you can see the mold over here. Let me just pull this forward. So you can see right here, let me just make sure it's focusing on this section. You can see that there's mold on here, and that mold is fine. They'll eat that. Actually, I've found that worms really like mold typically. We're going to take that off and move that to the side as well. So this is the last area that we fed. This is the area that we let kind of loose. As you can see though, I just want to go over this again. You can really see that there's not a lot of cardboard in here. We're really starting to get through these castings. Like this is the cardboard that we have. You know, it's really not a bad material in here. It's starting to dry out a little bit too, which is good. Let's just dig down on this side. This side's a little bit wet, but still there's a little bit of worm activity over here, but it crumbles apart, no problem. You know, I'm not seeing a whole lot of stuff in here, so this is really almost ready to harvest. I mean, really, I probably could, in fact, at this point, harvest it and start separating it out. Actually, there's a little baby worm here. Let me show you this guy. Look at this worm. I'm going to move my hand under here so it focuses in this area. But you can see him right there. There's a little baby worm. So, still multiplying in here, which is a good sign. Now let's dig down in this food section to see what we've got in here. We got worms, unsurprisingly. Still have some food in here, but you can see there's a good amount of worms in here. I mean, look at this. Really coming in here to make sure it focuses. This camera doesn't work as well as focusing sometimes, but like they're really coming in here on their own. So you can really see a whole bunch of worms in here. We do have a piece of a orange peel here that they're still working on. Let's just see if anything else is in here. We'll move this off to the side just for now. We'll put them back there in just a minute. Overall, it looks like most of the food that we had last time is gone. So that's a good sign that the food is gone. I'm just digging down a little bit towards the center section. Here we go. We got more worms right here. They're doing a great job. Just want to make sure it's focusing there. Great job with the food in here. They're really moving through here. Again, another orange peel in there. Those orange peels do take a while to break down. When we sort, we might actually end up with a few of them, and we'll see about sorting maybe over the next couple updates. Just this corner right here, a little compact. You can see that it's shiny as it's really compacted into that corner. But look at that, you can break it apart, no problem. Worms in there. It looks good and healthy. This bin looks really good right now, I have to say. I'm just going to kind of mix it up here. It really does. It's a good mixture of material. Some of it's a little bit wet, but good amount of worms. Still working on some of these other fibrous materials. It looks like right here that they are on top of a banana peel or the stem of one that they were working on right there. So I mean, that looks good. But you can see there's not a lot of bedding left in here, and I haven't been adding any the last couple times. I've been really trying to let them kind of work through stuff. Here's another one of these banana peels. These things take, these end pieces, actually two of them right here, they take a long time to break down. I know in a bin, these will probably come out through the harvest process a lot of times, but that's okay. You just throw them back into your bin when you restart it and get them going. So look, some paper there that's kind of clumped up a little bit. Let's just kind of move this along a little bit here more. Let's just mix all this up. Since we're going to get ready to harvest, it's not a bad idea to just kind of get everything sort of mixed up, make sure everything looks good. There's nothing that we're missing. Material looks really good in here. It's a dark, rich brown color. I do find my castings typically come out a brown color. I know that a lot of you constantly hear like black gold, black gold, black gold. Mine do not come out that black gold color. They come out more of this color right here. We are going to do a small feeding in here, I think. We'll just throw some of this to the side. See, this right here is the inside of one of those banana peel tops. Like, that's what happens to them. They slowly just pick them apart, and then they're very fibrous, and they slowly work at them, and they do get them. So we're going to add in just a little bit more food here, not a whole lot. In fact, we're going to add in very, very little, I think, right here. I've got a couple strawberry tops that we're going to add in here, which should break down pretty quickly. And then something else that this won't break, the paper on this won't break down quickly, but the coffee grounds I have found do. These are frozen solids, so I think we're just going to throw them in there like that. We will throw in a little bit of crushed eggshell with them, but I have found that these, there we go, just a little bit. Sorry, as I was saying, these coffee grounds, I find that the grounds themselves will just kind of dissolve into the soil, and they're perfectly fine to add to your garden, so this is a perfect time to add them. The worms might come aggregate to them, but at the same time, they can flow through the system, get put in the yard, and they're perfectly fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move this back over, cover this up. Just make sure this is sort of nice and level in here. Make sure there's no food like this avocado peel on the surface. Kind of bury all that in. And the worms will start working through here. Now we mix this up pretty good, which I think is needed every once in a while, just to make sure everything's doing okay. I don't think we need any water in here. There's another banana peel top. I'll just bury that underneath there. Now, the worms look a little bit lethargic, as you can tell. I mean, they're really not moving a whole lot comparatively. They're probably starting to run out of food, starting to scavenge a little bit, and starting to reduce their populations and prepare for the next generation, for the next time that there is a influx of food into the system. But we put in a little bit of food. We'll hopefully draw them over this way, kind of get them to keep going through the system a little bit. There's, as you can see, there is paper in here, but hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I think we're going to harvest. We're going to restart this system, and we'll see. Maybe we'll stop this project of showing the same bins over and over again, but for right now, this is working really well, and this shows you what happens. It's been a while, though. It's been over a year that we've been working with this system. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. Actually, let me put my put this cloth back on top here. They will eat through these, by the way. I do have other systems. They will eat through these cloths, no problem, especially if you bury them in there. But let's put that back on. Put our little Amazon Prime thing back on there as well. By the way, I do have Amazon links down below, so you can purchase some of this equipment that you see in front of you and that I've used in my other videos. And that's it for this update. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will get back to you and hopefully answer.